Hey everyone! I hope you're feeling well and taking good care of yourself today. Whether you're relaxing, working, or just needing a quiet moment,
I'm really glad you're here with me. In today's video, we'll dive into a peaceful riverside story, one that suddenly turns into a heart-stopping moment. When a child goes missing near the flowing water, and everything changes in an instant. What really happened?
and how did love bring everyone back together? If you enjoy stories like this, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next one.
The stream opens up quietly in the late afternoon, its surface catching the last soft light of the day. Water slides over smooth stones with a steady murmur. Calm and unhurried, Ly sits close to the bank, legs tucked in, carefully picking up small, shiny shells and lining them beside her. She hums to herself, clearly enjoying the wait. "I'll sit right here and wait for Uncle James," she says out loud, mostly to herself. "When he comes back, we'll go fishing together." Not far away, Auntie Diep is busy with her own task. She kneels on a flat rock, slowly peeling fruit and arranging the slices neatly on a clean leaf. Everything she does is careful and orderly. "I'll peel the fruit first and put it here," she says gently. "We'll clean up later." She glances toward Ly. "If Uncle James comes back, tell me so I can help, okay?" Ly nods enthusiastically. A moment later, Diep picks up a watermelon and cuts into it. The knife makes a soft tapping sound against the rind. She smiles when she sees the bright red inside. "Wow, this watermelon is so red," she says with surprise. "Do you want some? Wait a minute, I'll cut you a piece." As time passes, Ly's excitement slowly mixes with curiosity. She looks down the path along the stream, then back again. Why is Uncle James gone so long? She wonders. A small frown appears, just for a second. Then she shrugs it off. "He's probably digging for worms somewhere around here," she says, trying to reassure herself. Meanwhile, further upstream, Uncle James is knee-deep in mud near the edge of the forest. His pants are splashed, his hands dark with wet soil. He straightens up with a tired laugh, holding a small container of worms. "Had to go really far today," he mutters. "Flood season messed everything up. No worms close by anymore." When he finally appears by the stream again, Ly's eyes light up. "Uncle James!" She laughs, pointing at him. "You're so dirty." Diep looks up and gasps. "James, look at you. You're covered in mud. Take off your shirt so I can wipe your pants." James shakes his head quickly, smiling. No, it's too dirty. I'll clean myself later." He sets the worms down and stretches his back. Even though he looks exhausted, his voice is cheerful. The brief worry fades into laughter. The moment feels warm and familiar, like a small victory after a long effort. The stream continues flowing beside them, steady and patient, mirroring the calm settling in again. After a short rest, James claps his hands together. "All right, let's fish." He looks at Ly. "Sit here, okay? Uncle James is going to set everything up." He pulls out 2 fishing rods, one small, one larger. "This one's for little fish," he explains, holding up the shorter rod. Then he lifts the bigger one. "And this one's for bigger fish." Ly watches closely. "Is it tight enough?" she asks, pointing at the line. James checks the knot. "That's fine. Now, where did you put the hook?" He pauses. "Here it is. Can you pull the line for me?" Ly does as told. "Is it long enough? Maybe a little more? Okay, cut it. And we'll add one more line." He works carefully, tying the sinker, attaching the hook, threading everything together with slow, practiced movements. "All right," he says finally. "Yours is done. Let's see if we're lucky today. The water here isn't too deep, just right for fishing." Diep takes a rod and stands a little away, while Ly sits very still, gripping hers with both hands. Auntie Diep is fishing nearby, James says. Okay, let go. Let go. I hope we catch some fish today. James steps slightly into deeper water and casts his line. The hooks disappear beneath the surface, and for a moment, everything is quiet. Hope hangs in the air, thin but real. After a while, James calls out, Diep? Have you caught anything yet? Diep sighs lightly. No. The fish here are too smart. I can see them swimming, but they won't bite. They wait. A few small fish nibble, but escape. The excitement softens into mild disappointment. The fish seem fewer than expected, probably driven away by warmer water upstream. Eventually, James reels in a small catch and hands it to Diep. Bring it here. I'll clean it for you, he says. It's cold. I'll sit by the fire. They move closer to the bank and start a small fire. The flames crackle, chasing away the chill. James pulls Ly close and wraps an arm around her. Sit here with me, he says. Are you cold? It's warm here, but cold again when the wind blows. He adds a bigger piece of firewood. Put your feet on this so they don't get dirty. Sit still, okay? Diep grills the fish and sausages nearby. She looks for a flat stone but can't find one, so she uses skewers instead. The firelight flickers across their faces, and for a while, everything feels peaceful. Then Diep stands up. I'm going to look for some dry firewood, she says. We'll need more later. She smiles at Ly. Stay here with Uncle James. James nods. I'll keep an eye on her. Diep walks into the trees, gathering dry branches and stacking them into a neat bundle. The forest is quiet, leaves crunching softly under her steps. Meanwhile, James adjusts the fire, focused on keeping it steady. A few minutes pass. James looks around. Ly, he calls casually. No answer. He turns his head, scanning the area by the stream. The spot where Ly was sitting is empty. Ly, his voice tightens. At the same time, Diep returns, carrying a bundle of dry wood. I found a lot, she says, then stops. Where's Ly? James stands up quickly. She was just here. They both look around. The sound of the stream suddenly feels louder. Water flows on all sides, the current steady and endless. Ly, Diep calls, panic creeping into her voice. They split up, calling her name, checking behind rocks, near the water, along the path. Fear rises fast, sharp and overwhelming. Then, from deeper in the trees, they hear a small laugh and the rustle of leaves. Did you hear that? Diep freezes, clutching the bundle of firewood to her chest. Her heart is pounding so loudly, she can almost hear it over the sound of the stream. I did, James says quickly. It came from over there. They rush toward the sound, careful but fast, calling out again. Ly, where are you? Another laugh rings out, clearer this time. Small footsteps scatter across dry leaves. James pushes past a low branch, and suddenly the tension breaks. Ly appears from behind a tree, cheeks flushed, eyes bright with excitement. She's crouched low, pointing toward a bush. Uncle James, Auntie Diep, there was a little squirrel, she says breathlessly. It ran so fast. I tried to follow it, but it went up the tree. Diep drops the firewood instantly and pulls Ly into a tight hug. You scared us so much, she says, her voice shaking. Why did you run off like that? Ly blinks, surprised. I just wanted to see where it went, she says softly. I didn't think it was far. James kneels beside them, his hands resting on Ly's shoulders. He exhales deeply, relief washing over his face. You can't do that, okay? He says, trying to keep his voice calm. This place has water all around. Uncle James and Auntie Diep got really worried. Ly nods slowly, realizing the seriousness now. I'm sorry, she says. I won't do it again. Diep wipes her eyes and forces a small smile. All right, she says. Just remember, you always tell us first. The three of them stay like that for a moment, kneeling, hugging, breathing together, until the fear finally fades. The stream continues flowing beside them, unchanged, as if nothing happened. They walk back to the fire together. James picks up the dropped firewood and adds it to the pile. Good timing, he says lightly. The fire was getting low. Diep laughs softly, still emotional. I thought we lost her, she says. My heart almost stopped. James nods. Mine too. He looks down at Ly, but she's here. That's all that matters. Back by the fire, the mood slowly warms again. Diep adds more food to the grill. The sausages sizzle, releasing a comforting smell into the cool air. James stirs the fire and settles onto a rock, brushing dirt from his hands. Ly sits between them, wrapped in the warmth, her earlier adventure already turning into a story she's eager to tell. The squirrel was so small, she says, using her fingers to show the size. And its tail was really fluffy. Diep chuckles. Was it cuter than you? Ly laughs loudly. No. James smiles, leaning back. Good answer. As they eat, the earlier disappointment about fishing feels distant. The fish may not have been as big as they hoped, but the food tastes good, especially after the cold and the scare. The fire crackles steadily, glowing orange against the darkening sky. James takes a bite and nods in approval. This is good, he says. Simple food always tastes best out here. Diep looks at him and smiles. You did well today, she says. Even if the fish were smart. James laughs. Too smart for me, apparently. They eat slowly, savoring the moment. Ly swings her feet lightly, humming to herself. The tension from earlier has fully melted into comfort and closeness. After a while, Diep looks at James thoughtfully. James, she asks, do you know the song, Small Family, Big Happiness? James raises an eyebrow. That one? He smiles. Of course. Before he can say more, Diep starts singing softly, her voice gentle. Ly immediately joins in, clapping her hands. Dad is the golden candle. Mom is the green candle. I am the pink candle. 3 candles burning brightly. La, 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 la. Lighting up a family. James laughs and sings along, slightly off key, but enthusiastic. In the middle of the song, he suddenly jumps up. Hey, the fish! The fish is almost burning. Diep quickly turns it over, laughing. See what happens when you sing and don't pay attention? They all burst out laughing, the sound echoing lightly through the trees. The moment feels full and complete, like something they'll remember long after. As the fire begins to settle into glowing embers, James looks around quietly. The stream reflects the dim light, calm and endless. He speaks softly, almost to himself. After so many stormy days, he says, today is a beautiful day. Diep nods in agreement. She reaches out and squeezes Ly's hand. Yes, she says, a very beautiful day. Ly leans against them both, warm and safe. The night closes in gently, carrying with it the steady sound of water, fading laughter, and the quiet comfort of being together.